So the Great Eastern Cutlery 65 Ben Hogan's that came out this year, yeah, this year, don't seem to be one of the more popular patterns, which is probably good because maybe some people won't be as upset with me as they would be if I did this to a more like valuable pattern, I guess I'll say. I don't know. But basically, I Rit dyed this knife a little bit when I was doing the CRKT Pilar 3 Blade HQ exclusive. I dyed that one with this tropical teal Rit dye here, and then while I had the pan all heated up, or the pot all heated up and everything with Rit dye in it, I dipped my 65 Ben Hogan in it for a few seconds, and you can see the bone took on just a little bit of that blue dye. Now, I could have gone further than this, but I think it looks pretty good just having that little bit of blue color. I really like it like this. Um, could have left it in longer, but I was a little concerned about everything since it is a carbon steel knife. So basically, I dipped in the Rit dye for a few seconds, maybe 10 or 15 seconds. Took it out, rinsed it off with some cold water and some warm water, and wiped it off. And then I sprayed it all down with WD-40 because WD-40, the WD in WD-40 stands for water displacement. So basically, my hope was that if I sprayed it entirely with WD-40, it would prevent it from rusting. And it appears to have done so because I did this yesterday and I don't see any rust or anything. I don't feel the pivot full of rust or anything, so I think it worked. Um, but I am pretty happy with how this turned out. I like the slight blue color. It'll probably um, get rid of some of the blue dye as time goes on, but it is just the very slightest blue, and like even like in the middle here, it didn't take on as much of it. And you can see here on the back side, just like the edges took up more than the middle, um, and everything. And since this is bone, it has different like absorption rates of dyes and stuff, which is how you get some handles that are dyed and they look kind of weird because bone has like pores in it, and it's a porous material, and it'll absorb at different rates and stuff. But I really am happy with just the slight blue hue on this white bone 65 here, and I like it quite a bit. So I don't really care if you guys like it. But this is something you can always do with your pocket knives. If you have a knife and you don't like the white bone or whatever, you can dye it a different color if that's something you want to do. Um, Now, if you wanted to dye it like fully, you'd have to leave it in a little longer, which I didn't really want to do. Um, I just kind of wanted to see what would happen if I dipped it in for just a little bit, and saw what happened. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out. This isn't necessarily one of my most carried pocket knives, but maybe that'll change now that I made it like different from the other white bone 65s out there. But anyway, I just figured I'd show this off. I figured some of you might appreciate this or hate this. Either way, I figured I would show it because I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, so my Ben Hogan 65 has been ruined or made cooler, depending on how you look at it, with some Rit dye. And this is the tropical teal. Although, as you saw with the Pilar 3, it didn't really come out the color I wanted it to. And this is the synthetic. I don't know if the regular kind would work on bone or not, because typically Rit dye is for fabric. And you can use it for obviously plastic and G10 and bone and stuff, but typically it's used for dyeing clothes. So I don't know if the natural one works on bone or not, but I know the synthetic does because I did it. So, but anyway, it's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.